Will be very interesting to watch this new environment over the time. So jumping to the next question, how can Bitcoin, from your perspective, how can Bitcoin help to overcome financial and infrastructure challenges in Africa?
Sure. So, well, it first of all removes the need for a lot of other types of infrastructure. So, because you don't need trusted third parties, uh, payment processors, or banks, clearinghouses, things like this, it removes the need for that type of investment. And so, physical bank branches, ATMs, um, importing banknotes. So the Ethiopia, I think I have some Ethiopian currency somewhere around here, but all of those, you know, uh, pieces of paper, the security printing is actually done in Europe. I believe it's done in the United Kingdom. It's a big investment, right? And that in itself requires dollars, right? Often dollars that we're borrowing from kind of the international institutions. So it first removes the need for that type of infrastructure building. Um, Two, it sets a better precedent for remittance. So, Ethiopia, Africa, a lot of the developing world, or the global south,
Mhm.
they earn hundreds of millions, at times billions, if you're counting the kind of the black market inflows a year, through remittance channels like Western Union, right? Now,
Mhm.
Western Union, they're going to be taking 8%, 10%, 12% of that transaction.
Yeah.
So moving to a Bitcoin standard, you're looking at, less than 1%, if that, right? And so removing the need for that will allow, all of your capital to flow into your country, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you're sending that money to. And it also saves on some of these Swift networks and banking networks, payment processors. They have fees that are extremely high for the African consumer. And so that's why there's not a lot of overlap between African institutions and Western institutions. So an objective rule set, allowing agreement and truth to be verified on a block chain every 10 minutes. A public ledger really kind of fights these systems and allows people to transact freely and amongst their peers without the messy intermediaries in the middle.
Powerful, powerful. Yeah, will bring a lot of improvements in Africa in general, as you say. To be honest, I never thought before about what you said of the black market, but it's totally true because if you have this free transaction, this free movement of the money, uh, the price will be put it by the market and will be will take down a lot of problems of the national economy. And I think this problem happens in many countries of Africa, or as you said, in the global south. It's starting to happen in Mexico right now, for example, because it's bringing a lot of dollars from the outside. So
Absolutely.
it's a big solution. So, what are the most common use cases of Bitcoin among African entrepreneurs in your experience?
Sure. Well, first of all, it's a great store of value. So instead of moving any of your personal savings or your company's treasuries into local currency or dollars, moving it into Bitcoin is smart for the long term. It's a great medium of exchange, like I had already kind of explained. Without any trusted third parties, you're able to meet with that party and settle a transaction almost instantly and at a very low cost. And then Bitcoin has a development layer, so there are kind of educational initiatives like Kala, and so they are a group that I think they're on their second cohort of students now, but they're teaching technical Bitcoin. They're teaching, developers and programmers to develop on Bitcoin. And so, we'll see that. We'll see larger marketplaces for Bitcoin. So, right now you have apps like BitRefill, which allow you to buy Ethio Telecom credit
Wow.
using your sats. So you can do that right now. There's two simple steps that you have to kind of fill out, but using your sats, you can buy telecom credit. And then of course, Bitcoin as a means of energy and mining. So those two are going to come hand in hand. So we'll see more development around that space.